In My Opinion with J&M. Jonathan, this looks a little bit different here. Wait a minute. Oops. And then the same problems always happen. I keep forgetting to turn on your microphone. My bad.
That's what I was going to say.
It's a new place,
like,
man.
It's insane. Like, the place changed, but everything's the same.
Of course it is.
But I don't know. Sometimes it feels like I got an angel over my shoulder.
Oh, over your right shoulder? You mean Arnold Schwarzenegger?
He's telling me to conquer.
Oh. You know what? I should have thought about that better because I got to stare at him every time I look up.
I love it. I love that on the opposite side, the Rock isn't there.
You know what?
Beautiful.
I can still do that. Maybe I should have done that.
No.
That would have been a hell of a...
It's so idiotic.
Why?
I don't even like Spider-Man, but I prefer that over the Rock.
Anyways, how you doing, buddy?
I'm all right.
You all right? Hanging in there?
Yeah.
Hanging in there? We got a guest today, an actor. It's been on a lot of the popular shows here in the city. He's been on Chicago PD, on 4400, all these great shows. I'll let him introduce himself.
Yo, what's going on, fellas, man? This place is nice.
It's a work in progress. Little by little. We've done a lot in how many weeks have we been at this? 2 weeks, John?
Probably more than that.
2-3 weeks?
More. Yeah, 3 weeks.
So I'm actually pretty shocked that we got this far in the amount of time that we've been.
Yeah.
You know?
Yeah.
But how you doing, man?
I'm doing good. Happy New Year.
Happy New Year.
And we still in this pandemic, and I'm just glad to be here. I'm just glad to be alive. I'm glad to be breathing. And but for those who don't know me, my name is William Jefferson Jr., and I'm an actor, filmmaker, entrepreneur, teacher, educator, brother, cousin, friend, you name it.
You're the second person to come here with like a junior name, and it sounds so freaking cool. Cause remember last well, you weren't here, John. I had oh my God, what was his name? Holy crap, I'm brain farting. But you guys' names like fit together, like beautifully, and the junior just kind of like adds like that last little spot at the end. It's like it's fucking smooth as hell the way you guys say your names. It's freaking amazing.
And it's funny because my mom was actually gonna name me Brandon Manley, so I'm named after my dad.
But it works. But it works. It sounds really like really, it sounds good. Yeah, it just fits. Like it just fits.
He's the second William Jefferson I've come to know.
Oh, really?
My coworker. Oh my God, he was like Red Fox.
Mm-hmm.
God, I miss that guy. One of the most hilarious people like on the face of the planet. He didn't have any hair on his tongue. He would just say whatever.
And that's me.
And,
that I don't know.
And there's nothing wrong with that, bro. Sometimes you need that kind of person in your life.
Now, wait, are you from Evanston?
No.
Okay.
Born and raised on the south side of Chicago, right in Bronzeville.
So, John's a COVID survivor. Since we talked about the pandemic, John, what was your experience? How are you hanging in there right now?
I survived.
I see you got a lot of halls over there.
That has nothing to do with nothing.
Actually, you know what? You can toss me one. Go ahead. Speak about your experience there.
Honestly, I got it. The whole family had it. I didn't get it.
Mm-hmm.
I was the last one, I think. And then, I don't know. I just had a day where I drank my coffee. I was going to go to the gym, and it just like hit me like a ton of bricks. The shivering cold, the sweats, which is beyond me. How are you freezing cold and sweating? I still don't get it. But and then I had 2 bad days. I couldn't keep anything down. I lost like 15 pounds. So there's always like a silver lining. I lost weight. It's always good. And then I got better. I mean, all in all, it wasn't too bad. I've had cousins who were in the hospital for like 8-9 days. So I'm good.
But thank God.
So you gonna get that vaccine now? Since you've had this experience.
Oh, you still haven't got it?
He's a non-vaxxer.
Well, I can't get it now.
What do you mean you can't get it now? Of course you can get it now.
No, you got to wait after you get it.
Do you?
I even spoke to the doctor. She said, you got to wait a couple months.
I did not know that.
So I've got an excuse.
Okay.
I got to wait a couple
But you don't
months.
plan on getting it anyways, do you?
Well, it's starting to look like Lori Lightfoot is turning the screws on me. I
Oh,
can't go to the
yeah.
gym.
Yeah, she
and
is
stuff,
getting really
so-
tough right now. Hey, hold on. That lady right now is putting up like, she must be like trending #1 in the city because she is going off on people. Like she went off on the teachers
Yeah.
a couple days ago.
Yeah.
And my sister's a teacher.
I'm a teacher
like,
assistant.
Oh my God. Like she went bananas on people right now. And I mean, I understand. Let's talk about that for 2 seconds.
Yeah.
2 seconds, if you don't mind. I get it, right? I understand that safety protocol, all that stuff is important. I get it. But sometimes I look at it like the teachers,
Uh-huh.
you know, if you say you want to be in the classroom and you think your students belong in the classroom,
Mhm.
then you have to stand by that. And if you're constantly switching back and forth on it, then I start to wonder why, you know, what's going on here. You know what I'm saying? Like, where's your stance on that right now?
Yeah. So the thing is, the students aren't learning anything when they're virtual. Like they're at
Correct.
home, they're not getting online, or they're sleeping, or they.
It's not the same experience.
No, it's not.
It's not.
It's not. And so that's really the main thing. But the thing is, we just got to be safe. Like, we just got to be realistic. They should have just shut down and never came back to the school anyways, because it's still going on. Like, everything should have just been shut down from the beginning.
See,
But at this point, I'm just wondering because it's like, is it ever gonna go away?
That's
like
how I'm thinking.
4 or 5 years down the line, you can't have kids trying to learn virtually for the next 3-4 years. That's
Right.
not gonna work. We all know that. So
Right.
like at some point, you got to be like, oh, well,
I think so.
You
Here-
got to come back.
Yeah.
So here's my thing. So my sister, she's in favor of in-person learning, right? And I think the way they were doing it was logical, right? So what they were doing was, if someone tested positive in your classroom,
Yeah.
that room got flipped, right? So that room would go online for 2
Like a
weeks or
week,
3
2
weeks or whatever it was,
2 weeks
or whatever, as they sanitize, clean, whatever, and give time for whoever got caught to whatever. And then they come back. But flipping the entire schools, that's a different story. You know what I'm saying? Because like I agree with you. I think learning online is not the same as
Yeah.
learning. It's like I say, us actors. Like, as much as I love taking acting classes,
Mm-hmm.
there's a difference between taking a Zoom class and taking classes in person.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? Like, there's a different experience
Yeah.
to it. You know, I think you get more out of it when you're in person
Oh, absolutely.
as compared to on Zoom. I mean, you can learn on Zoom if you want to. I mean, don't get me wrong, you can learn,
Yeah.
but there's a difference. You
Yeah.
know what I'm saying? Of you actually being there. So I don't know. I mean, I felt like their program it made sense in my head. You know, I don't understand why the flip came so fast and so like aggressive
Mm-hmm.
on CPS. But CPS, the thing is, the teachers union, I think, is making a mistake where they're making decisions that they technically can't make. And this is where I'm like, I kind of like, I don't know. Because again, you're an employee. You can't make the decision to say we're going to go remote. That has to be the city.
God, I wish
Well,
I
not the
could
city,
do
but
that.
CPS. Yeah, me too. I wish I could do that. I wish I can go to my job and be like, hey, you know what? I'm just gonna go remote starting today. Why not?
What do you say I always do? Just all I do is cut grass. I'll cut grass from home.
Yeah, you know, I mean,
I'll plow snow from home.
I don't know. I hope it gets resolved because, you know, the people that are suffering are the kids.
Yeah.
And
Oh, and the teachers, because the teachers ain't making no money.
the
And-
parents.
Oh, the parents,
trying
they
to
gotta find out, yeah.
scramble to try to get their kids into some daycare or something, because that's hard as hell too. I got a
yeah.
text at 5:00 in the morning or something like that saying the kids weren't going to be going to school that day. Now I kind of had plans already, but what about these parents that got it like at 5:00 in the morning and then now they got to call off of work or something
Right.
like that?
Yeah,
And that's
forgot about
kind of
that.
rough.
It hits people in the pocket. And
Yeah.
everywhere you look at it, it's a there's no good. There's really no good coming out of it. You know what I'm saying? And this is where I'm like, I mean, again, I don't really get involved because I'm not a teacher. I have no idea. I can only look at it from the outside and what I hear from my sister and blah, blah, blah. And your sister's a Sika as well, right?
Yeah, I'm a secret.
Yeah.
You're a Sika and
yeah.
his sister is a Sika
Yeah.
as well. So, you know, I feel for you guys, man. I really do. But I really hope that, you know, the solution comes quicker than later, you know, because it's going to be a pain in the ass.
Well, they're getting paid. You're getting paid, right?
Oh yeah,
Have you
yeah.
been going to school?
Yeah, yeah. Been going to school.
Yeah.
Been going to school.
So, moving on. to the real reason why we tuned in to watch you today. So tell us about your acting career. Like, where'd you start? Like, what was your motivation and all that type of stuff?
Yeah, for sure. So I've always wanted to be an actor ever since I was younger. You know, I told my mom that I wanted to be an actor. It's like, Mom, I want to be an actor. I was maybe about 7 years old. And she was like, nah, you want to be a doctor or you want to be a teacher or a lawyer. But the thing was,
equally as difficult careers, but okay. I mean, those are hard too. Those are hard as
maybe a
hell
little
too.
bit harder.
yeah,
I mean-
she just didn't know where to take me, you know, because there's a lot of scams out here that will tell your kid, like, hey, you could be on Disney Channel if you give us like $4,000. You know, your kid would be on
Nickelodeon or whatever.
Yeah. So I had to wait till I was 18. And but she put me in everything else, you know, karate, Boy Scout, basketball, dance, everything. So, you know, I had a good childhood. And I'm glad of that too, because most child actors, they be going through something. Like they don't have any time to be a child. They're always around adults all day, you know. And so I'm actually grateful and thankful for that. Shout out to you, Mom.
Mm-hmm.
So I started when I was 18.
Pause for your mom. Right there.
Yeah. And so I had to wait till I was 18.
Yeah.
I was a senior at Simeon Career Academy.
Ooh.
Shout out to the Wolverines.
Ooh. Okay.
And I did a web series called Juke, A Chicago Story, which hit over 1 million views.
Isn't that with wasn't this guy part of that? Dion and those
Yes,
guys? Yeah, they were all part of it
yes.
because they were here and they were talking about it. Yeah. I remember. Mhm.
And yeah, that's where Dion was at, and Jay Lethal and all of them. And so I was a senior, and it was like, man, I got this big hit web series going on. I had fans. And then I was like, no, I want to go away to college. And so I just prayed to God. I was just like, God, you know, if this is for me, you know, let it be back for me. And so I went to college. I went to a small historical black college, Miles College. And I studied communications. It's in Birmingham, Alabama. And I did study theater there because the theater program was small and they didn't have enough funding. So people weren't like going into the theater program. So I did communications and I learned how to edit, direct, write, script write, read from a teleprompter. They wanted me to be a news anchor, but I was like, I don't want to do that.
That's pressure.
You would
right
have one of
there.
those nice chair turnaround things. Yeah, and they turn.
Yeah.
And they look at the camera.
Yeah. And so I graduated and I was going to move to Atlanta, but my aunt was telling me like, no, there's a lot of opportunities here in Chicago. Empire is here. Chirac just came out. Fire Med PD. So I was like, okay. Moved back home. She told me that there was this guy that she knew that was doing like background work for like 4-Star and Extraordinary. And I'm trying to find this guy to this day because I want to thank him. And so I just signed up for 4-Star and Extraordinary, just started to do background. And every time I was going on set, there was actually like real actors that do background. And they was just telling me exactly what I needed to do to get a speaking role. So I would just write down things every time I was on set, networking, meeting people, and did that and got signed with the agent and been rolling ever since.
Well, let's talk about that for a second, since that was a lot of ground we just covered right there.
Are you gonna lump yourself in with a actor that does the background stuff?
What do you mean?
Yeah, you're one of those guys, right?
Yeah, because I'm a firm believer of doing background. I'm a firm believer because there's a lot of people that preach that background is kind of like, don't do background. Like background
It's
doesn't do
underneath
anything
you
for.
or
Yeah,
something.
I mean,
Oh,
and
yeah.
don't get me wrong. Even as an actor right now, I mean, we're signed actors. You know, we're legitimate actors, if you want to call it.
Sure, we are.
Yeah, John. Of course you are.
I mean,
you are
these guys.
you're the brightest star of all of us right now,
Yeah.
John. My point is, they preach a lot of that, like don't do background or whatever. But I'm a fan of saying, do it, because
Me too.
you don't. Okay, put it like this: when we're on a production, it's very closed. You can't even get like the audience. Whoever wants to watch are basically the neighbors that maybe have a chance to see something or whatever. So in majority of cases, the average person can't experience anything on a set because you can't get close enough to actually see anything or whatever, right?
Exactly.
So if you want to get close, background is the way to get close.
Absolutely.
Even if you're doing nothing, right? You're probably a party goer or whatever, blah, blah, blah. But you see cameras, you see lights, you start to see how people react to certain things or whatever. This is all knowledge, you know? But like for me, they told me when I was in my first acting class, like you do extra work if you want to, but be really quick to stop that. And I think that's wrong because you should always do it because you can always learn something.
Absolutely.
You know? What was your experience with background? Like what was your first that you remember?
So Chicago Med was my very first background.
That body?
And no, actually was a teen homeless guy.
Okay.
And I was booked for a whole week.
Oh, not bad.
It was amazing. I was getting fit-ins. They fed me really, really good.
Oh, that's
I met
the best
a lot
part.
of people. Yeah, that was the
man.
best
The
part.
catering, holy shit,
man. I just kept going back, and everybody was just so welcoming, and there was a lot of like veterans there that was just telling me, all right, this is what this means. First team, second team. There's a lot of terms on set that you don't know from an acting class.
Martini, that's the best one.
Yeah, martini.
That's the best one.
Rap, all of that.
Yeah.
I didn't even know background. I knew about extra. I never knew that the better term is background.
Right.
So little things like that matter.
Yeah.
And it was the best experience ever. I was just like, wow, this is something that I can see myself doing every single day, all day, waking up to. And so like I said, there were people there telling me like, well, you got to do some short films. You got to do some independent films. Here's some places to go. Vagabond, Green Shirt Studio, et cetera, et cetera. And so I was just writing it down. And every single time I would get booked for different shows. And I would get paid. And I was just like, oh, this is it. At first, I was just like, oh, make sure y'all watch Chicago Med. Make sure y'all see me, you know. And then I was just like, wait a minute. I'm blurred out. They cut me out.
You know what? Hey, I'll tell you what. That don't matter. You know why? Because most people that are going to criticize something like that, you tell them like this. How many times you been on the show? 0? All right, then. At least I'm there. At least I'm there.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? And I'm getting paid for it.
Right.
So whatever. But again, it's an experience. Like I remember the first time I did background for Chicago PD, right? And you know, you get this adrenaline rush because you're going to see this, all that. And then again, you realize, you come down to earth and say, well, I'm really only going to be in the back.
Right.
You know, but it's an experience. You get to mingle with people that are involved. You get to see, even though they do tend to keep the extras and the background separate from the main cast and all that. Understandable. But where else can you experience that when there is no other way to experience that?
Right.
You know what I'm saying? You have to go and do it.
Yeah.
So you did extra work. You got an agent. You were taking classes. What was your first like legitimate booking, and what was it for? Like let's say like a guest star or co-star. Have you done any of those?
Yeah. So
what was your first one?
Yeah, my first co-star was Chicago Fire last year.
Okay.
In March, and when I did the audition, the role was for me to do voiceover. However, they wanted to see a self-tape. And it was just amazing just to get the audition from Claire Simon because for a while I wasn't getting anything from her. Nothing, just waiting, and nothing from her. And so when I got it, I was like, yeah, this role is for me. So the role was Young Man and season 9, episode 13. And I played as a gangbanger, and I had to threaten.
I know that feeling. I know that feeling of playing gangbanger all the time.
And we're gonna talk about that too.
Of course we can.
So I had to threaten this girl because her brother owed us some money, and so since I couldn't get to him, we getting at her, and so we hold her hostage. But it was kind of like different because instead of Chicago PD coming, it was Chicago Fire, the firefighters coming and telling us like, hey, it's a bomb. We got a call that said that's a bomb in this house. You all got to evacuate, leave right now. So we all just ran out of the house. And then the sister and the brother, they walked out and they saved like them. So I was just like, okay, I'm going to run with it. I'm just here for it.
It's almost like one of those shows where like, I was talking to my sister, she watches all these shows a lot. And I'm like, Chicago Fire has to be one of those shows where they exaggerate the most because the fire department doesn't deal with half of the shit that they show in the show.
Right.
Like they're literally dealing with gangbangers and stuff.
Right.
Like, they don't deal with that in real life.
No.
I've
Gangbangers
never
and
seen
hostages.
Yeah.
I mean, I've never seen an actual firefighter literally like pull out a freaking gun to defend somebody. I've
Right.
never seen it. So like, I know they have to fucking exaggerate, but still. Continue,
So I was
I'm
just
sorry.
like, okay, I'm here for it. You know, it was more so to book the room, as they say.
Yes, yes.
And that's
agreed.
what I did because I was talking to a lot of my actor friends. They were like, I would have never took that role. I would have never did that. You wasn't even really seen. So my speaker role was on the phone. You would hear me like threatening the girl over the phone. And then one of the firefighters was just like really, really scared and like really spooked and telling the other was like, we got to go save her kind of thing. So I was just like, look, I'm here to book the room, not the role. You know, I still had to audition for this. This is not like it was background or anything. I still had to go through proper protocols and et cetera. And so it was the best feeling ever. I got my trailer, you know, I got that special treatment, you know, the PAs coming up to you like, you need anything?
Oh my God.
You need
Yo,
anything?
2 seconds on that. Holy crap. That's almost annoying. Like I felt so bad. So like I was on PD and the same thing, like they assign someone to you basically, right? Who caters to you, who tells you, do you need anything else? Do you need this? Is everything okay? Are you warm? Blah, 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 blah. And I'm like, at one point I literally asked him like, you know what? Do you need something?
Right.
Like, do you want
I
me
be
to get
feeling-
you some
yeah,
water
me-
or something? She said, no, I'm fine. Thank you. But I do you need, I'm like, oh my God. Like,
Yes, I feel
get
the
off
same
my case
way.
for 2 seconds, please.
But it was also really great because a lot of the crew and everybody knew me from doing background. So when they saw me on the other
Give you
side,
props.
they was like clapping and texting me and emailing me like, "Hey, I seen you on the call sheet. That's what's up." I
Dude,
was
that
like,
was a big thing for a good feeling for me too.
yeah, I was like, I told y'all, and especially to one of the PAs that wasn't, you know, so nice. I was like, now go fetch me some M&Ms, all blue. I told you to give me all blue M&Ms. This is not correct.
I don't want to see one yellow one.
You know
Not
what?
one.
Go give me that coffee, and it's supposed to be 98 degrees, not 97.7 degrees.
You know what? It's funny because they do remember that stuff. So like on PD, I've ran into the same guy who used to be in charge of the background people. I forget his name. I want to say it's Cameron or something. Nice guy. He wasn't a bad guy.
Yeah.
But you know he has to do his job, and like I said, you know the background kind of gets pushed into where they have to be, and if background get out, blah 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 blah. You don't have freedom when you're background,
Right.
But when you're a main cast or you're casted, right?
Yeah.
you could go wherever the hell you want to go. You could walk wherever you want to walk. Blah 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 blah. Big difference. So then I ran into Cameron, and Cameron looks at me, and I'm like, what's going on, bro? He's like, huh? You're moving up. I'm like, yeah, bro. I'm like, what are you doing now? He's like, well, he has a different position. I'm like, you too, bro. He's like, this is what we got to do.
Exactly.
This is where we wanted to be.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? And we made it happen.
Just treat people nice regardless of what position you are.
Agreed.
Yeah.
Like, I don't care who you are. You can be the showrunner. You're going to fall and need somebody to pick you up.
Yeah.
You know?
That's how I felt when I see background. If I'm a main, right? If I'm a main, like normally they'll tell them, don't talk to the actors. Don't talk to the actors. I'm like, so when we're waiting for, you know, we're still setting up, whatever. Like I made it my business, like to talk to them because like I know what it's like to be like them. You know what I'm saying? I don't want them to not talk to me. I mean, you can talk to me if you want to. I mean, I'm a nobody.
Well, I ain't
if you
gonna
want to
lie.
talk to me, go ahead.
I ain't gonna lie, it was a whole lot of backgrounds, a lot of guys, and some of them knew me, and I was just like, "Where's the PAs to tell them to stay 6 feet away from me?" Like I was waiting for this moment. Okay.
No, but it's such an experience. Like acting is such an interesting experience. Like it's something that's hard to explain to people. You know, unless you're there. You know, it's trippy.
Yeah.
It's almost trippy. Continue. Give us another experience.
Yeah. So my second co-star was 4400, which is a new pilot.
WB.
Yes, on CW.
CW. Sorry.
And it was a show on Netflix, but they did a reboot.
Yeah, because the original show had Patrick, the guy who plays Rusek in Chicago PD.
Yeah,
the original show did. Yeah,
and it was. Now, this experience was different from Chicago Fire. My role was friendly employee. So I went from gangbanger to friendly employee working at a coffee shop. So I'm not typecast.
Was that the one with when you were dressed in the blue shirts and the uniform, or that was a different show, right?
Blue shirts and the uniform.
You guys were in like khakis, and there was another show you were in.
Oh,
recently.
Southside.
That one.
Southside.
Yeah.
Yes. We can talk about that.
I'm sorry, I keep cutting you off.
Oh, it's okay. It's okay. So 4400, I auditioned for it, and I was like, I like this. I like this show, and I'm gonna go for it. And I did it, booked it, and I was like, oh snap! I was doing Donda. I was performing for Donda when I got the email. You know, Kanye had his whole Donda thing. And I got the email. I was like, oh snap, this is lit. Like, second co-star for the year. Let's go, baby. Let's go. And so I did that and went for 4400, and I had to wipe off the desk and talk to the main two leads as they was coming in. They wasn't buying anything.
Oh, it was a coffee shop.
Yeah.
I saw it. Yes,
Yeah.
I did. I remember.
And I just say, let me know if you ladies need any help. And then that's it.
It was the same episode Ulysses was on. Was it that one? Do you know Ulysses?
Yes, I do.
It was the same episode. Remember with the longer hair? He was
Long
on our podcast.
hair.
Yeah, Floor. Yeah.
Yes.
They were on the same episode where he was doing like he had to act like a girl. Yeah, that was pretty good.
He did his thing.
Man,
on
that was pretty good too.
That was super.
Because he was like not possessed, but like his mind was taken over by a girl.
Yeah.
Or whatever. So like he starts acting all flamboyant and stuff. It was really good.
Like,
it was really good. He was on that. They were both on that same episode.
That was her power. She had to like get past like the doctors, and so she used him to get inside to like get into
past a code or something.
Yeah,
it was
to
like
get inside a code.
Yeah, or whatever, something like that. It was pretty cool.
It was
pretty
dope.
It was cool to see him do it. And you as well, same thing. I mean, I remember when I saw the episode, I'm like, I know I have both of them on my friends list on Facebook. I'm like, man, these guys are good. I guess it's awesome to see people that you know on these shows. Like same thing. I just told you, Gloria just booked Chicago PD. She was on the ladies' night couple like a month ago. Emma was on PD. Like it's cool to see, just to see people get into it. I don't know. I find it fucking awesome.
Me too. And a lot of people, they don't. Like, they say they're happy for you, but sometimes they don't. You can like feel the energy and like people's vibes sometimes, and it's crazy because I be wanting to see everybody win. Yeah, like seriously, on a serious note, I don't want to be at the top by myself. It's lonely.
Yeah. So, it's always that way, though. Yeah. It's always that way.
Yeah.
I feel like there's always like a sense of like maybe envy or jealousy or whatever, but I mean, and that's okay. I mean, it's kind of a competitive thing.
Yeah. That's what we're.
It's competitive.
It definitely is, but there's a role for everybody.
Yes, of course.
For sure.
So
there's always Hispanic gangbanger. I'm always there. I could always get that one.
And I can do both drama and comedy.
See, this is where I think you have a talent that I don't have because the comedy's not my thing.
And that's where Southside came.
Not funny.
Oh my God.
Man. And that's where Southside came. Southside.
Because I've seen you posted some of your auditions and stuff like that. Man, you got a hell of a set of pipes, man. And you have like you said, you have a range of different things.
Yeah,
I've tried to do a few things,
what
but like,
the hell? He just said his mom put him in dancing and
everything.
He had a whole laundry list of things.
Yeah,
and that always helps.
That definitely did help. So I look up to people like Will Smith and Jamie Foxx, because they can do both. And so Southside was something that I booked over the summer. However, this role was actually a core extra role. But on Southside, they do things a little bit different. And of course, people
because you're an employee, right?
Yeah,
you're an employee of the place of the I was gonna say negotiation,
the RTO,
the business that they
the
have.
Furniture store.
Yeah, the furniture. That's what it is, the furniture store.
So
right?
if, you can watch Southside on HBO Max. It's about a whole bunch of people working in a furniture store doing funny jokes, a whole bunch of crazy stuff going on. Chance the Rapper's in there. Lil Rel is in there. And so I got this through Extraordinary Casting, and this position was a little bit different because this wasn't just a regular extra role. Like this was actually featured, featured role. And so I saw this and I was like, okay, I'm going to go ahead and take this position because, who knows what can happen from this. I know when you're seeing too much as an extra, you can't be used as a co-star. So I already knew that. But this particular show is different. Everybody really is like really featured. And it felt like a family with Southside. And so I was booked the whole summer with them, and producers, director, they loved me. They had me doing all kind of funny stuff and facial expressions throughout the whole season. And so they had a event, a private screening, and they invited me to the private screening.
Watch out.
And they sent me a jacket. So I was like, oh, snap. Right. I'm really in the family. And they really are a family. They're brothers and cousins who all came together, who decided to do some jokes about Chicago and like different things that go on in Chicago. And I was like, this is really good. This is something that we need. And so I'm like, I have to be a part of this. And so I did it, and people have recognized me, and I haven't said not one word on the show. I'm like heavily featured doing funny stuff. And I feel like this challenged me because it's like, ooh, when I really want to say something, I can't say nothing. But the best acting comes from saying nothing.
But that's what they say too. I've heard that before. You ever heard of the concept? Like they say that the more expressive person is the off-camera, not the off-camera actor, but when you're watching a dialogue scene.
Yeah.
Right. And they're going over the shoulder constantly between, but they're showing someone talking, but the reaction of the other person.
Yeah.
Yes.
That's more gripping because you have to express it, and you really can't say nothing because you don't have any lines at that point. So you have to say it with your eyes or whatever, or little subtleties or whatever. Like that's more expressive.
It is.
And it's a challenge. I mean, that's awesome.
It was challenging. I can't think of the movie, the new Halle Berry movie with the little boy in it. It just came out. I can't think of it.
The one that Kristen was talking about.
I was watching either a movie or a trailer I just saw, and I was like, "Is that Halle Berry?" Because it didn't look like her.
It's
where she's fighting, right?
Yeah, she's fighting, and there's a little boy. He doesn't say anything the whole time, but his acting is phenomenal. He doesn't say anything until the end. I can't think of the name of the movie, but
Unbroken
or Undesirable, something like that.
He's looking it up right now.
Okay,
it's gonna bother me.
But that when I saw that, I was like, oh yeah. So this is true.
A movie from last year.
It's on Netflix.
Yeah, Netflix.
Continue.
And so they treated me like a family, on Southside. Yeah. Everything was great. The party was dope, and the producers, they were just like, thanks for coming, Will. Thanks for being with us, and stick around because you just never
Bruised, is it? Bruised.
I want to say
that's a 2020. That's a 2020 film. Then there's Moonfall that she has 2022. Is it a movie or TV show?
It's a movie on Netflix.
She's like I
want to say Bruised.
Like a MMA fighter.
Yeah, it's Bruised. It's Bruised.
And so
they come with Unbroken. Wow. What did I say?
Something like that.
So the producers was just like basically just they was like thanks for being around and sticking around, and who knows what the future will bring. So I was like, all right, thanks for having me. So I just moved on, and aside of television, commercials, voiceovers, I've been killing it. Last year was definitely quote unquote my year.
Yeah.
It was hidden. 2 co-stars, commercials. I did a regional commercial for Green Bay Packers, and
Green Bay Packers.
Yeah, the Green Bay Packers Bellin Health. That's going on in Wisconsin right now.
We're from Chicago, but we'll let that slide.
Everybody's on my case with that.
No, it's all right.
Look, I'm just going wherever the money is. Okay.
Hey, I don't blame you.
Yeah.
Anyways, commercials is where it's at. Anyway, that's where the money is.
Oh yeah,
you get a lot of money in commercials.
Well,
a lot of fucking money if you get a fucking national commercial.
Yeah.
Shit, I'm waiting.
That's where the goddamn money is.
Don't you got a herpes cream thing?
You're a funny guy. You're a funny guy.
You were saying something about that?
No, I was not. Class wise, so you took classes of Vagabond. You said?
Yes, I took classes at Vagabond.
How did you like? I took one term at Vagabond.
One time.
What
See,
did you get out of it?
I only did a voiceover.
Oh, you did voiceover.
Yeah.
Okay.
Voiceover, and it was great. It was great. I was in a process of trying to get like my home studio set up, and so I still haven't gotten my equipment, but I got everything, like all the materials and what works and what doesn't work based off your expenses, and I want to actually take their on-camera pro classes because I saw like they have like level 1, 2, and 3.
Mm-hmm.
But I saw like if you like have like a co-stars and stuff, like you like can kind of skip it. Yeah.
I mean, I guess you would have you like send them, your
materials.
resume and what
Mhm.
you have, and then they'll determine if they can just move you up.
Yeah, they have a
or
lot
whatever.
of great instructors there.
I agree. Yes.
That are working actors. So I look forward to taking some there.
So you booked anything recently, like since the year started?
Yes.
You did post, right? You did post
Yes,
something,
I
but-
did. I booked a regional commercial for Indiana lottery commercial.
Okay.
It's gonna be
You know what? It's funny. They had a skit in my vagabond class where you were like a lottery, whatever. It's like a goofy commercial for the lottery or whatever. So
Yeah.
that's kind of funny.
It's gonna be hilarious. They got me dancing. I'm the main principal in it.
Nice.
And
It
it's
sucks. We're probably not going to be able to see it because
It's Indiana.
right?
Yeah, it's
Yeah.
gonna be on TV and cable, but I think it's gonna be on the internet too.
I mean, I'm pretty sure you could probably find it on YouTube somewhere.
Oh,
yeah, it's gonna be on YouTube too.
Okay.
Or screen grab it and fucking put it up yourself, and it'll be on YouTube then.
So I'm excited for that one. That one I just came back from Indianapolis for 3 days, and it was the best. I'm like, wow, man, people really trying to run from commercials, and it's paying well. Like, although you're gonna see me for 30 seconds, forget that. I want the money.
Sorry, who's trying to run from commercials?
I mean,
A lot.
here's the
That's
thing.
crazy.
Here's the thing. Commercials. I don't know because I had a friend who booked a commercial and it was paid differently. Like they gave him a payout,
Yeah,
right? So I don't know how it works before because when I did my commercial,
There was no.
residual.
Yeah.
Residual.
So they pay you up.
It's different things.
So
yeah.
when I did my commercial, when I did my Walmart commercial, right, I got residuals. So I made a lot of money. I made like almost $50,000 on a 30-second spot. You know what I'm saying? So I don't know if it's the same way nowadays. From what I've been reading, whenever I audition for a commercial, now it's like a buyout.
Yeah,
So they'll pay you for your acting, whatever, and then they'll pay you a one-time.
yeah,
Whatever
and
the
we'll
amount is.
shoot it and we'll air it for like 13 weeks or whatever.
Right.
Okay.
But you don't get any money for every time it airs
Yeah.
because you're getting a buyout.
So a lot of commercials that you see on TV, there's a lot of buyouts. People don't know that. They be like, "Oh man, you must be getting a lot of money. Your commercial keeps coming on."
Yeah.
Little do you know.
Yeah, and I wonder when that changed because, like I said, when I did my commercial, I was getting paid. Like I never seen checks show up in the mail for that amount of money so fast in my life. Like I was literally like 3 weeks straight just getting checks.
And it's crazy because these big brands are paying real little money and doing buyouts. It's like, what?
I think the system kind of changed a little bit. I think it's all changed. COVID kind of changed kind of how we deal with Hollywood and all that type of stuff. And people's opinions on Hollywood have changed a lot too. So
Yeah.
nonetheless, what about indies and short films and all that? I don't know if you're really big on those things.
Yeah, I am actually.
I know you did your own short, right?
Yeah, I did. We won Best Film in a Film Festival.
Nice.
That was my first short film that I did. It was a 48-hour film festival, and we went against like maybe eight other films, and I just decided to do it. I was like, this looks like this is gonna be fun. We literally had to create the short film within like a day, shoot, edit, and submit it, and they give you like the day before what exactly you have to put in the short film. So it's like you can't have something
So
that
they
you
know.
already done.
Yeah, it's not pre.
Yeah. Yeah. And so that's the fun part about it. And so I got together with some friends and some people, and we did it. We did it, and opportunities came after that. After we got the award, a lot of people was like, "Hey, do you want to be a assistant director for me, or do you want to help co-write, or can you get some people for my short film?" So I was just like, "Wow."
Oh, it opened up doors.
Yeah, it definitely did. And I did 3 other films last year, all of them hitting theaters, local theaters, just for that particular theater. I did When Does It Stop? Vulture City 3, and I did so many films last year. I'm missing one. Can't think right now.
Yeah, that's a good problem.
Somebody's gonna.
Yeah, that's a good problem. That you're forgetting
this.
I'm forgetting one. Yeah, you know what? Hey, that's fine.
Oh, the Coleman Show. There we go. The Coleman. Okay. Yeah, the Coleman Show is also on Tubi. Okay. And When Does It Stop is on Tubi as well. Vulture City 3 is about to come out on DirecTV. So all of them supporting roles.
That's awesome. That's awesome. Staying busy, man. That's good.
Yeah, I'm booked and busy. Really, and a lot of filmmakers, they just follow me, and they'll message me and just say, hey, we saw your work. We want to work with you. And that's a blessing. I never thought that I would be in that position right now to get that, even from Atlanta and LA, and filmmakers are hitting me up because I do TikToks and I post a lot of my work and heavy on promotion. I'm somewhat of an influencer, so that goes hand in hand with acting and creating content.
Yeah, I think self-promoting is one of the most important things you can do when you're not
Yeah, John, that'd be great if you were to promote. Be great.
I put a couple of videos up there.
Yeah, a couple.
On the TikTok.
Yeah,
it's
and then
draining.
you stop doing that really quickly too. But we won't talk about that today.
We haven't done a show in a minute. We haven't done a show in a while.
We have 60 plus right now. You could chop those up and put them back up on your TikTok all you want. I'm just saying, bro.
It's gonna be hard to go.
I can't do everything around
footage.
Y'all are funny.
Oh man, we're a couple of goofballs, man. Since we were kids, we've been.
That's what's up. That's what's up.
Yeah.
You gotta really pick the right person to try to venture into this type of shit.
Oh yeah.
I mean, you should know. I mean, you when you walked in, you were like, I wanted someone to take pictures. They bailed on you or whatever. Blah blah blah. It's one of those things.
Blue Jay King.
Just gonna totally put it on. You want to say his name again?
Blue Jay.
Just to make sure we don't put him on blast.
But that's his stage name. Don't let me say the real name.
But that's the truth, though. The truth is you have to know who you're gonna get into business with, because you can't just go in with anybody. Like John.
Who's that other guy saying that? Sam.
Oh, Sam.
He was playing basketball or something like that, and he wanted somebody to take
and then they wouldn't show up, and they wouldn't show up or whatever.
Noah was there, showed up at his gym, and he wanted somebody to shoot footage,
and the dude doesn't show up
discreetly, and they were just no. Well,
I mean, you gotta have someone again, and everything takes commitment, right? I mean, obviously, you walked into this is the first time we've used this studio here, and this is a commitment.
Right, honored to be the first.
Yes, you are the first.
Second junior, right? First one to be early, which I like.
Hey,
oh yeah, you're right.
He showed up early.
Hey, I get some kind of prize for this.
Yeah. Well, it's not in the budget.
All right,
not in the budget.
We just blew our budget right now and all this stuff.
Oh yeah, sure we did.
But again, it's a work in progress. This is something I'm actually really proud of it, John. To be completely honest with you,
yeah,
man.
For sure.
I looked at it, and you look at it from beginning to end. When we first agreed to build a room down here and use it solely for recording. And then when it actually got built,
I didn't know what it was going to be, to be honest.
It was either going to be a recording studio or a gym. Or a gym. I think I convinced them and said, I'll buy you an Arnold Schwarzenegger poster. You could just stick it on the wall.
I mean, you're lucky I found a gym, or this was going to have to be a gym. Yeah.
But no, man, this is something that's awesome, and I love doing it. It's so much fun. Anything else you want to tap in on? We talked a little bit about COVID. We talked about your acting.
Yeah.
Anything? Any sport? Are you into sports or anything of that nature? What do you do on your free time when you're not acting?
On my free time, really, I'm just chilling. Chilling, watching. Honestly, I breathe, sleep, eat this whole acting thing.
Let me ask you a question. Maybe you don't suffer from the same thing I suffer from. So, after you're in acting and you kind of know the ins and the outs of it, right?
I thought you were gonna say constipation.
No,
go ahead. Okay.
You see why I keep him around? He has those little. He puts in the funny ones. He puts in the funny ones. I'm here. Watching a movie to me has become very difficult, and I'm gonna tell you why. So, like, I went to go watch the Spider-Man flick. I don't know if you saw it. Did you watch it?
I did.
Okay, what'd you think? Pretty good.
Very overhyped.
Think so? Think so?
Very overhyped. Well, it was good, but maybe because it's been a while too since when you don't see a movie for a long time, and then something finally comes out, and then you're just like, and nothing really be as good as the first.
Sure.
Yeah.
So
but that's the way. That's why
most
I like
movies are
the way
that.
Marvel did it. It was like one after another, kind of after another. You didn't forget.
So
what the story was
here was
all
my
about.
point real quick, and then we can talk about how shitty it was or how good it was. I went to go watch the movie, and I start to look at shots. Like, I start to look at what the actor's doing, like his choices and this and that, and I start to think about all that stuff. Like, I kid you not, there was a part in the movie that I think it's Tom Holland's Spider-Man, and he's kind of sad, and like the camera's off to one of his sides, and it's raining on him, and he's just staring into space, and I'm like, and I tap my sister, I'm like, that's a fucking amazing shot. And I'm like, but I'm not paying attention to the movie. I'm looking at the cinematography of it. You know what I'm saying? I feel like because I'm into acting,
right,
it has kind of changed how I look at a movie.
Right.
I don't look at it just to watch the movie. I look at the technical stuff.
Yeah.
And I think that kind of ruins it because then I can't get really involved in the story.
Yeah, a lot of actors, they do that. Even I do it. I do it to a lot of indie films, especially. But with sometimes it don't be the actor's fault. It be the director, and there's nothing you can do about it. Sometimes.
John knows that excuse because he says that's why Arnold Schwarzenegger is such a bad actor, because of bad directing or bad writing. It's never Arnold Schwarzenegger. No, never.
No, he can do no wrong.
Oh, no.
So you can't, fight the actors sometimes. It's like they want to make a choice, but they can't because of the director's direction. So
that makes sense. Makes sense.
Yeah, that's what I look at it.
But back to that Spider-Man movie. I thought it was pretty good.
I think it was good, but I'm just saying, like, how people were just like overhyping. People overhype everything.
One of the overhypers right here.
I didn't overhype that movie. I didn't overhype that movie.
The trailer definitely looked good.
I thought the movie played perfectly for what they were saying it was going to be, in my opinion.
Yes.
Now, was it overhyped by people? Sure. But everything's overhyped. Whenever you have anything that's going to be nostalgic, you're always going to have overhype.
Yeah.
It's like the same thing with any movie that involves older characters. Like right now with the Flash movie, right? So you have Michael Keaton's going to come back and play Batman. So guess what that does? That automatically levels your excitement, and the bar is like, now you're already lifted because he's in the movie. Even though it might be shitty. It's a DC movie. It might be shitty. Who knows? But the fact that Michael Keaton's in there automatically, builds it up more.
Yeah.
So the same thing with the Spider-Man movie. Was it overhyped? Probably because of the fact that everybody knew who was going to be in it.
Yeah.
Because you knew you were going to have old characters come back.
Sucks, doesn't it?
What?
That going in what's going to happen.
Yeah.
That doesn't bother me as much though. Like, I don't mind knowing. My coworker gets pissed if you tell him anything about a movie. Like,
how much more hyped would you be if you didn't know that who was the first Spider-Man? Tobey
Maguire.
Yeah. If you didn't know going in that he was going to be in it, and then you see him,
be like,
but here's the thing: what if the movie? What if No Way Home, which was the no, not that one. What was the one before that? Spider-Man: Far From Home. Let's say Far From Home would have been a bust.
Boy, they're really sticking to that home theme.
That was the point, yeah, because the first one was called Homecoming. So let's just say Far From Home was a bust, right?
Mm-hmm.
So how do you build and get people into seats if they already have a bad taste in their mouth? Do you get what I'm saying?
Yeah.
You have to give them something to come and see it.
All right.
Do you get what I'm saying? Like, you can't just not show anything because then no one's going to go watch it because they think it's a bust.
Right.
Yeah, they might go the second week, but what's more important to a production is your opening week.
Yeah.
You get what I'm saying?
Mm-hmm.
So I understand why you have to show something.
Yeah.
Now, I will give them credit because they didn't show any Spider-Man footage in any of the trailers. They showed the villains. but there was no Spider-Man villain. I mean, no other Spider-Man shown.
Yeah.
And they hit it pretty well because there's only like one photo from behind the scenes that got leaked from like Andrew Garfield. Only one thing that I know of that leaked.
Well,
and that entire thing.
Somehow, some way, people like find out stuff.
Especially
right
now,
of course.
it's impossible. Now.
Of course.
It's impossible to keep that
It's
stuff
impossible.
hidden.
And I think they threw it out the water when they started bringing back the old villains.
Yeah.
So if you bring back Dr. Octavius,
then you're going to bring back.
Of course, you have to bring back
Spider-Man.
It'd be weird if he wasn't in it.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? Or some kind of explanation of why he's not in it.
Yeah.
You know? But I think Marvel has peaked, in my opinion. I think they've gotten to a point where their newer characters, like I watched the Eternals.
I loved that.
You loved it?
I loved it.
I was there and I kind of was like.
I loved it. I didn't even know anything about
And I think that's where the problem is.
Yeah.
Because they're characters no one knows about. So unless you really, really want to spend time getting to know these characters versus the ones that are more established, like Captain America, Black Panther, blah, 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 Spider-Man, whatever. Is the average consumer, like I'm a comic book nerd.
Right.
So I'll watch it.
Versus me.
But what's the average person? Are they really going to really go to a movie like that and sell out?
No.
Probably not. Right? I think I saw it at Logan Theater, which is whatever, not a big deal, but still. What was the other one that came out? The
one with was it like with
the rings? Shang-Chi?
Yeah.
That one's another one.
That was another one that
I thought it was good.
It was great.
But it didn't sell. It didn't sell like that because I think the average person isn't going to go watch it.
No.
Because they don't know anything about it.
No.
I think what they have in their back pocket's great because they have X-Men in their back pocket right now. They have the Fantastic Four in their back pocket, which that's going to draw people because everybody knows it.
Yeah.
But I think they've kind of peaked.
Like the well-known ones, yeah.
Right, because you got rid of two of your main characters. You got rid of Captain and you got rid of Iron Man, right? So then those were your bread and butter because that's what people really want to go see is to see Robert Downey Jr., you know? So I don't know. I hope they continue because I love Marvel. Like I've always been a comic book dude. You know, it's gonna make money.
It's been out for a long time.
Yeah,
and
I know John's excited about the cartoon coming back.
Oh yeah.
X-Men 97. Is it 97?
Are you old enough to kind of remember?
How old are you right
X-Men? I'm 27.
You're 27?
Yeah.
Oh, he probably remember. He probably does. You remember the old X-Men show?
I think the animated
one.
Yeah,
that was a badass show.
Yeah, I think I remember.
So like it's all nostalgia right now though, because they're all coming back with all these old shows. Same thing with the Batman animated TV show too. They're gonna come back, which is really cool.
That was pretty good.
They need to because everything is just like so just real and so 3D-ish, and it's just not the same.
Oh my god! Let me tell you something. TVs are also ruining movies for me. So I was watching. Did you watch The Matrix?
I did not, but I want to. But you can talk about it.
Should you tell them?
You can talk about it. Oh yeah, that's what I heard too. That's what I heard.
My god.
That's what I heard. And see, look how long it's been since Matrix been out.
Oh my god! Like I'm sorry, but I'm a firm believer that sometimes certain things should be left alone.
Yeah.
And The Matrix is one of those. Leave that alone. I don't want to see. I love Keanu Reeves. I don't want to see him anymore. I know he does good in John Wick and all that still, but at some point, you know what Keanu Reeves is turning into? He's turning into Liam Neeson. So Liam Neeson has a niche of movies that he does. He does, I kick your ass type. You're gonna tell me about what I'm saying.
Did we just talk about this
the other day? Yes, we were talking about that.
Yeah.
Let me finish my thought. So listen. He does a certain type of film where he kicks everyone's ass. Right? But at some point, he's like 70 years old.
Right.
He's not kicking anyone's ass. I don't care how good of a martial artist he is.
Use the walker as a swingy thing.
If he looks like Herbert from Family Guy, I mean, I'm dead. I'm just, he's too, I don't believe it anymore.
Right.
And Keanu Reeves, he's a little younger, obviously, but he's already in his 60s probably.
Oh, he's pretty old.
You're getting to the point where I don't believe you can actually fight anyone.
Right.
You get what I'm saying?
Much less jump off buildings and
yes. And in the Matrix movie, you can see it. I mean, I don't know if that's what they wanted, but you can kind of see that obviously everything's slower. Everything is a little different. Like it's not like the original. The original, he's all about, everything's fast and blah, blah, blah. And as soon as you can tell he's still really athletic at the time. Not his fault, obviously, because he does it for the money. I mean, he loves the Matrix series or whatever, but no more.
Yeah.
No more. Please let that series sail and let it go. Let it go. But anyways, is it worth watching? If you have HBO Max, watch it on HBO Max.
Okay,
Don't pay money to go watch that in the theater.
All right.
But then again, my point was
Don't go to the
TVs.
theater at all. Might have some
a lot of stuff.
teenagers talking.
Oh my God, bro! Did we go watch Resident Evil? And that was a piece of crap movie too. But still, holy crap! People have no respect. They're just flapping their fucking gums.
Literally,
Really?
at the top of their lungs, like talking.
No.
Yeah,
The entire
it was awful
movie.
What? Where was this at?
We were at Cinemark Theater in Melrose Park. You ever been there?
No.
No? God, don't go there. It used to be a really, really nice theater. It's starting to get really, really stupid. Like really, really stupid. But I've never seen such disrespect in my life.
No, it was bad. Yeah, it was real bad.
But
y'all didn't say anything?
I mean, is it really worth it at this point? Then I'm gonna end up on a YouTube video and blah blah blah. Yeah, you know what? Fuck it.
Two grown men beating up teenagers.
Yeah, it was.
Because they were kids.
Yeah, right.
I don't know. So, what would you say is your favorite flick of all time?
I don't know why he puts people on the
spot.
Yeah, that's kind of hard.
I honestly don't really have one.
What movie can you watch over and over?
I honestly don't like watching movies over and over.
Okay.
On a serious note, like my friends were trying to get me to go see Spider-Man last week. I was like, I already saw it.
Yeah, there's no reason.
I'm not about to go and see it. He was like, are you crazy? I went to go see it 3 times. I'm like, no.
My wife has watched The Proposal with Sandra Bullock about 27 times in the past 3 years.
Yeah.
I think there's certain movies.
There's certain movies. You know what's going to happen.
Yeah. I don't like, it's like I already know what's going to happen. So.
Sure, I can see that. I think like I would want to go watch Spider-Man again only because since again I don't really pay attention to it like that. Like I feel like I need to watch it again so I can kind of at least say I really understood everything that fucking happened.
Right.
But there is one movie I did see like 3 times or 4 times, and it was The Dark Knight.
Okay.
With Heath Ledger. Like every time someone wanted to watch it, like they hadn't watched it, I'm going. And I don't know why I saw it so much. Something about that movie was really good.
You know how much I loved the Joker with Joaquin
Phoenix,
and I would not watch it again. Really? There's no reason to. So why?
I mean, I get why. I'm just saying
it was glued on the TV the whole time. I mean, there's no reason to.
Oh, I totally forgot what I was saying. So the reason I mentioned the TVs are ruining movie experiences for me too, because they're so goddamn high definition now.
Yeah, you can.
Everything looks fucking fake.
Right.
Like I was testing because I bought a new TV not too long ago, and I put on Avengers Endgame, for example, and they're walking around in the set, and I'm like, oh, I can totally tell it's a set. Like I could totally tell that. Okay, that's the end of the set because there's the green screen there, and like this boulder that one of them like bumps into is like that's not a boulder, it's a piece of foam or whatever. Like it's so realistic that it bugs me now. It's trippy, and this is something that we brought onto ourselves.
Why you're bothering watching movies and TVs and just stop. Just focus on yourself.
Stop playing fucking PlayStation.
Oh, I can't.
You're a PlayStation fan or you're an Xbox fan, or you're not a gamer at all? Do you play video games at all?
I don't play any games.
Nothing?
And I should.
Classics? No, nothing?
No, don't.
I stopped at like PS 3. I was like, you could tell how long that was.
It's an addiction. It's no good.
Yeah. And I see like my brother, he has a game. My little brother, he's 7, and some people that I know. So I'm just like, okay.
Little brother?
I have a little 7
years old? Wow.
7, 27, and 21.
Wow.
Oh my God.
Shout out to you, Mom.
Wow, the oven is still baking. The oven is still baking.
Not the oven's still baking.
Man, it's still baking.
That's your nephew.
No, seriously. That's my son.
Wow, that's crazy.
Oh man, I had my kids like one right after the other. I couldn't imagine having a kid
starting
20 years
all
later.
Over.
Wow.
All over. And I didn't even see it coming. I remember like it was yesterday. My mom, I was a freshman in college. And my mom, she was like, all right, I got something to tell you. I was fixing up my bed. And I was like, what? She's like, I'm pregnant. And then she walked out. And I was like, Are you kidding me? Like, I've been wanting another sibling for the longest. I kept begging her. And she was just like, you see these? You see these pills? This is it. I'm like, oh, okay.
Boy, it's almost like she did that out of spite. She waited till you got out of the house and went to college to have a kid. Man, it's
I thought it was gonna be a girl, but no, it was another boy. Another boy. Keandre.
More power to you.
crazy.
Yes,
that's crazy. That's a big spread.
It
That's
is.
a spread. Like a spread.
Is.
Most people that I know, like their kids are roughly within the same age group. You know, roughly.
Like me and my brother, he's 21, I'm 27.
Makes
That's
sense.
Like it. Yeah.
Right, that makes sense. Like me and my siblings, me and my sisters were like separated by like 4 years or whatever.
I think my
3 years.
grandmother had 8 kids, like 1 a year.
Yeah.
Kind of
Yeah.
Oh, my grandmother did too. She had a lot of kids.
Mm-hmm.
That's kind of a dying thing though. Like, I don't want. There's no way I would want 7 kids or whatever. Like my grandmother had 7
kids. It's too late
kids.
now. I mean,
no, I'm not. Well, it's not too late for me. What are you talking about?
No.
Me, I can have
7 kids.
I can have as many kids as I want. Even when I'm like 90, I can still produce kids. I mean, depends on the woman, obviously, not on me.
Them. Can you take care of them when you're
That's a
like
different story. I might have to start, renting the studio out. But anyways, so what do you got? What do you got coming up? What's on your plate going up this year? What do you plan on? What are your goals for this year?
So I didn't talk about my business, the Actor Advisor. So the Actor Advisor is a consulting agency. I help people that want to get signed with agencies get signed.
Cool.
And so last year I helped 32 people get signed to agencies.
Nice.
And it's been a hell of a year. And this year I plan on getting my LLC and getting my website up, because everything was just social media.
Yeah.
Word of mouth. And it was just something to do on the side, because people was hitting me up and was like, hey, how do I get started? What can I do to get an agent? And I was just like, I was telling them, I was like, you should do this, that, and the third. And then my friend was like, hey, you should make this out of a business, because
you never give information out for free.
Yeah. And I was like, no, I want to do
something and never do it for free.
No. That's what I meant to say. Yeah.
I was like, I want to do this out of the kind of my heart. It's like, you can do it out of the kind of your heart and still get
charge
paid.
People. Charge people, yeah.
So that's what I did. And it was great, because now agencies know about the business. And I was like, whoa, I got a call from an agent. It was like, hey, I've heard about your business. And somebody came to my door and was just like trying to get signed with me. And
maybe some random person.
Yeah. And we can't take anybody like this, but if they go through, your program or something, you'll be, considerate, because we've seen people, have great materials.
Yeah.
Because I always send my clients with the best of the best.
Yeah.
Headshots, professional resume done with indie films, short films, classes. We don't have a demo reel. We create demo reels or monologues and self-tapes. And we hit them with a pitch. And so this year I plan on doing some workshops and just growing my business.
Yeah.
So I'm excited. I'm excited for it.
That's awesome. That's awesome, man.
Yeah.
That's a risky, not a risky thing, but like
it is.
Because I mean, you're putting a lot of time into something, and it's like, remember when we were talking, when you would try to convince me, you should open up a TV install business or whatever, blah blah blah, and I'm like, I don't know if I want to take that risk. That's a tough. I mean, I do it on the side,
yeah,
but it's a big different. It's a different thing when you're doing it professionally.
I meant like put up posters.
But John, there's responsibilities that come with it.
No,
like
it's not. No, there is not.
Listen,
when
to
you're
me.
not licensed, if you mess up, you just run out the house.
No, see, that's the thing. And then there goes your
That's
fucking
fine.
business. You're not gonna get anybody else who's gonna hire you. You have to have
fake
some
names.
type of.
Come on.
God.
And there's a lot of people that don't take it serious. They hit me up and say, "Hey, I want to be an actor. What do I gotta get? What do I have to do?" And so I'll be like, "Okay, you got to take this class. So you have to do this. You have to do that." And this one girl was like, "I gotta be in acting class to be an actor."
Yeah. Hello.
Doctors don't have to go to medical school to be a doctor. Lawyers don't have to go to law school to be a lawyer.
Do you think it's sometimes when you tell him like kind of the price tag? Like I didn't know how much headshots were until he got it done, and I was like, it's pretty expensive.
It's expensive.
It is, but at the same time, you make things work for. You make time for what you want to make time for.
That's true.
Agreed.
So there's a lot of people that I see will be going out, kicking it, buying all this fly gear. They going out of town. They buying drinks at the bar. They got the flies gear on, but can't pay, $80 to $500 range of headshots. Because there is a headshot photographer by the name of Jen Stanko who does one look for $75. And she gets the job done, and casting directors know who she is. Agents know who she is. And it's just like $75. But I also, based off your budget, I tell you, which one works for you. And I also give you like strategies to make money and like funding for them. So like go down. If you have 5,000 friends on Facebook, ask all of your friends on Facebook to help you with your career. Just $1. If you get 75 people to give $1, that's your headshots right there.
I can hear the commercial thing going. $1 a month.
That's it.
With Colonial Pet Insurance.
Yeah.
With your money back guarantee. But
you can save this child. All of those are
but it's true.
Yeah.
Because they try to kid me with the excuse. They like, well, I have bills. I have a daughter. I have a husband or a wife. And there's people that's out here making it work. Husband, wife, 2 kids, a house, a car note, insurance. We all have bills.
Yeah.
It's about how to make it work.
Right, I agree.
And the industry doesn't care.
And like you said, I mean, if you want to do something, you do it. Because I mean, like you said, if you don't want to pay for headshots because you don't want to, because if you spend it on Jordans, what's the difference? And obviously, you want the Jordans, you didn't want the headshots. That's simple.
Sacrifice.
Yeah, people don't know the meaning of that.
Yeah,
sadly anymore.
So, what would you say is one of the things you struggle with in acting that you have to work on the most?
I would say not. I would say like really just like down on myself. Like I'm always just like uplifting others, and then when it comes to like when I get scenes and like breakdowns, I'm just like, I don't think I'm good enough. And I don't know why. I do that.
Well, I mean, you've been booking this shit ton, so I mean, obviously that has to be changing your mind a little bit, right?
You're always going to be your harshest critic.
Yeah.
No, that's
for
true.
Sure.
Yeah.
100%.
So I just have to just kind of just like remind myself and just like do different things, like write things down and like, confirm, like, this is for you. This is for you.
Yeah, self-affirmation.
Yeah.
I mean, think of it this way. I mean, if they called you to audition because they looked at you and they saw you, they saw your look, they saw what your material is already, they want you there.
Yeah. I had to remember
be there because they want you there.
Yeah.
You get what I'm saying? You already showed something. That's kind of what I tell myself. Like, we're not going to book, and I've learned that terminology too. You're not going to book every role, but you can book the room.
Yeah.
Because they remember, you know, you might not be right for that role, but you never know.
And right? I celebrate like everything now. Everything I celebrate, even the little things. Got new headshots.
Hell yeah.
Got new footage. Okay, taking this class. Yeah. Got this book in the mail that I'm about to read. Oh yeah.
It's all baby steps. For me, it's all baby steps. Like I take everything as a win.
Yeah.
I didn't get a role, but I was on a first release.
Right.
So what does that mean? That means I was probably one of the last 7 guys.
Right.
Or whatever. That's a win in itself.
Exactly.
Maybe you just weren't right for that role. Maybe they wanted someone with a little more hair, blah, blah, blah.
Yeah.
Whatever. Those are all wins that we have to take.
It's crazy how
I always make fun of myself, of course, because I'm a bald head, of course.
Since when?
You got to learn how to laugh at yourself.
Yeah, I had to learn that.
You can't take yourself too seriously.
Oh, I don't.
So okay, well, when it comes to the craft, what did you struggle with? Like any part of it, like memorizing lines, being realistic, not blinking, that type of technical stuff.
I would say
understanding characters.
Who doesn't struggle with
I would say
not
understanding
blinking?
characters
That's hard.
sometimes, or just like being too much of in the character. Like, if you get what I mean, like being too much like of the character.
Like overacting.
Yeah, overacting. Sometimes
I feel like I struggled with that too.
yeah,
And I had to learn how to turn that down a little bit.
yeah, and it's just like, how can you not overact and not underact? You know, like finding the balance.
You know what helped me kind of in a
Mhm.
way? What got me more comfortable is like I started thinking about how does a real person actually, or what does a real person actually do?
Right.
You know, I took a class at Black Box
Okay.
for human behavior.
Okay. Writing
And-
that down in my notes.
And it made sense because, you know, we think of characters and we start to say, well, this character is going to do this or do that. But we don't focus so much on what does a normal person in that situation
Yeah.
actually do. Like, again, overacting would be like, okay, your scene is to walk into the room.
right.
Okay, so overacting is you walk into the room, you start doing all this crazy shit because that's
Yeah.
what you want to look like you're acting, right?
Yeah.
But then you look like you're acting.
Yeah.
And the point isn't to look like you're acting. The point is to look like you're a normal person.
React to the situation.
Correct.
Yeah.
Correct. Like, what would you do? You got to start to think. If my only scene or the only thing I'm doing in the scene is walking into this room, okay, what do I do 100 times a day
Right.
when I walk into a room?
Right.
I flick the light switch and I go do what I'm going to go do.
Yes.
90% of the time, you don't go and start staring at the wall and looking over here, looking over there. You don't do that. But
That's
when you get a script that says that, you overthink it. Like,
Yes.
I need to look at this or blah,
Yes.
blah, blah. Instead of just, okay, I walk in and put my cup down, my keys down, whatever. You know, that's kind of what I started doing for myself. I started to think of, how do I do this as a normal person? And
Yeah.
then add a little bit to it, a little bit of flair, change the accent, whatever, blah, 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 blah.
It
But
works.
that's to me.
It
You know,
works.
That's what I do.
It works. It's just about just reminding yourself each time. That's the only thing. So, got to get back in class.
That's true. That's true. Class is everything, man.
Yeah.
Frogs are all over the place. I think that was me.
That was
That was
you.
me. Sorry.
It's usually
Um,
me. That's
No.
I
That
thought-
was
I think
him,
that was
and
me.
that was
That was a good sounding
that
one
was
too.
more than a frog. That was like a bullfrog. That was like a toad. That was
cannot.
But anyways, I don't know. I'm looking forward to this year, man.
Me too. This
I
is
mean,
like, it's scary.
So
It's scary
am
this
I,
year.
even though I'm not in that.
John,
group
listen.
What are you
no,
doing,
no,
John?
I'm not gonna do it.
John,
No.
you are part of this production that we have here.
Oh, yeah, this is fun.
something you have something to be really proud of. You help me all the time, bro. Without you, I can't do what I do. So I am forever in your debt.
Oh.
Brings me no solace. whatsoever.
But I'm super excited because I mean, like I said, I ended the year with a PD book,
Hey.
and before that, I booked Lightyear. That was fun.
Yes.
So I'm looking forward to, man. You know, I'm just
Oh,
Yeah, I've learned
I
so
thought you
much.
said you got booked by PD, like
like booked into, like booked in PD.
like they brought you in for questioning or something.
I'm gonna look like they took pictures of me like I was getting brought in or whatever. So into the whole little interrogation room. So who knows? Maybe they'll call me back. I don't know.
This is definitely going to be, the year. I'm taking each audition like totally different. I'm making choices, and sticking with them. Like, I've seen like a lot of people like post like their end of the year like self tapes and stuff like that. This year, it's like I'm gonna be in costumes. I'm gonna be, using props. Like, I don't care. I'm gonna stick with it and go with it and leave it at that.
I think that's another thing people struggle with is making a decision. Like, you
Yeah.
have to make a decision,
Yeah,
even if it's the wrong decision.
yeah,
I've learned that too. Like I a lot of times when I first started, I would beat myself up, like trying to figure out, okay, what is this person doing? I mean, no, maybe he's doing this, maybe he's doing that. You know what? Look, make a decision and run with that. It may be the wrong decision,
right.
but at the end of the day, like, I mean, obviously you've seen what sides are. You get no information. You get a clip of what's kind of happening, maybe a line before, a line after.
Yeah.
You don't know what's going on. So, like, to me, I make it up.
Yeah,
If it's not there, I make it up. If it's wrong, it's wrong.
Exactly.
But at least I made a choice.
Exactly.
You know, I'm not just standing there saying fee fi fo fum, blah 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 blah. You know, I made a decision to say it like this, or that my character feels this way, even if it's wrong. You know, I may have failed, but again, to me, at least I'm making a choice.
Yeah.
You know what to do. Your character's a gangbanger.
Yeah. Pull out the 9. Pull out the 9. That's it. What else can we talk about, John? Anything you want to talk about? I feel like you haven't talked too much today.
See?
Give us anything.
You always put me on the spot.
You should be prepared for this, then. It's already 60 episodes in.
Oh,
Turn up.
Let me think. I did hear a funny commercial for Long John Silver's.
Go ahead.
They're still open?
That's what I said. They were saying, "Oh, get the app and skip the line and get your food." I said, "I've been to a Long John Silver's maybe 3 times.
There is
in
one.
my
I don't
life.
even remember
I know where
eating.
there is one.
There was no line. I was the only one there.
There's one on Cicero.
That's
what's the app
because
for?
Taco Bell is taking over with their chicken wings.
They have chicken wings at Taco Bell?
They just
Yes.
started that. Yeah.
What
It's
the
been trending. Everybody's been
Yeah.
going to Taco
That
Bell.
doesn't even make
They
sense.
also got a monthly subscription for like $10. You can get a taco a day.
There's a lot of
for
them being
30
built right now too, because there's a Taco Bell being built
Right
on the
here,
street.
right here.
They built one right by my house. They built another one. The one in the Brickyard is like 2 blocks away
Boy,
from
they're
that.
banking on these wings.
I didn't even understand because
That's look like monkey meat. I wouldn't dare.
I wouldn't even. I mean, I don't even like going to Taco Bell. Period.
Nah, me either.
Like
I
it's
don't
not
know.
the. It's not
No.
like.
See, but I guess with the wings,
With the wings, I don't know.
But then I do find people that really, really, really love Taco
Bell, yes.
Like there's some people like Taco Bell's the best thing ever. I'm like, you're fucking crazy,
the best thing ever.
dude. Like I've ran into people that literally say that
Yes.
Taco Bell is the fucking best.
Shout out to you,
says that?
KO.
Like,
Oh
KO.
my god, I don't know, bro, but I'm
Their chalupas are pretty
maybe
good.
their
but
taste
aside
buds
from
are
that-
backwards or some
They
shit.
don't, or they haven't tried real.
I mean,
real
don't get me
Taco
wrong.
Bells.
Don't get me wrong. I think it has its taste. It's kind of like Chipotle, for example. Like Chipotle isn't
Love
Mexican.
Chipotle. Chipotle is my life.
Me too. But Chipotle is not real Mexican. It has its own taste, right? But it's actually good. Versus Taco Bell has its own taste, but it's not that good. It's not that good. Like,
Well, a
come
lot
on.
of people don't have like access to like real Mexican food or real like Chinese food or
that
Asian food.
doesn't apply to me. I had like 12 Mexican restaurants.
I
in
mean,
my-
but if you live in a major, if you live in
1 block
Chicago, there's
radius.
Mexican food.
Oh, they're
You know,
Oh,
what
it
I'm saying?
is.
You can't tell me you haven't tasted Mexican food. Everywhere in
true.
Chicago, there's Mexican food.
But like I'm gonna speak on African American, like in the like urban like hood that's just like don't go anywhere. Like that just go in the hood food. Everything's hood food, gyros and
That stuff's good too, bro.
tacos and
See, that's something I wanted to eat more of because I didn't eat a lot of that when I was a kid.
yeah.
What's that?
Like gyros and stuff like
Harold's?
that. And
Oh.
like I never really ate a lot of that stuff. You know,
Yeah.
like for us, it was always McDonald's, Burger King, you know, whatever. Then Chipotle came into our lives.
Yeah.
And that kind of took over every fucking thing.
Where'd you grow up?
I grew up in Logan Square,
Okay.
but then I worked at Chipotle for 2 years. What?
Logan Square, Humble Park.
You lived in Humble Park. I
Okay.
lived in Logan
Oh,
Square.
okay.
I grew up.
Sorry.
Remember, I was literally born. I was next door neighbors with Lightfoot.
He was born in the yuppie side of the.
Sure. You were, I mean, I grew up basically in your house and you lived on Hamlin and North Avenue, which is basically the hood. But
Yeah.
sure, I mean, I grew up in that neighborhood,
Yeah.
but still, I was more in
We
Logan
almost
Square.
got shot in that neighborhood.
Because of you.
Yeah.
Because of
I
you.
don't know
Because
about
you
that.
start gangbanging at people and shit.
Oh.
But anyway.
Misinformation.
Anyways, anywhere people can find you, links.
Yeah. So Instagram, Twitter at Will Somnelse. That's WILLSOMEELSE. Facebook, William Jefferson Jr. LinkedIn, William Jefferson Jr.
That just sounds so slick. William Jefferson Jr. just sounds slick, man.
It is slick. And
It sounds slick.
my dad is
WJJ.
slick. So I get it from him. Shout out to you, William Sr. Yeah, that's it. LinkedIn, Facebook, Instagram, and Twitter.
And you got any your like personal projects that you're doing that might be coming up anytime soon?
Actually,
Any short films, anything like that? Anything outside of like the professional world? Like
no.
indies, stuff like that?
No, nothing interesting for me is coming up. I do have some people messaging me about like their projects upcoming. Somebody's actually trying to fly me to Atlanta. So I'm like, woo, that this is gonna be fun.
He's
and,
not gonna take a free trip to Atlanta.
and Airbnb, and I was like, oh, okay, I can't wait to see this. But I do plan on going to LA. Never been to LA, and Atlanta this year to just meet up with a couple of industry folks. I want to go to ATL and do ATL stunts, and go to LA and just to see, like
The vibe.
see the
over there.
vibes.
Yeah.
And so I've met a lot of people virtually, like on Clubhouse and in like classes. And so, we got, pretty cool, and they're going to like show me around. So I can't wait for that this year.
I kind of want to I kind of want to make a trip to LA. Just like you said, it's like,
Yeah.
this is where we dream of going, right?
Yeah.
As actors, right? So it's
Yeah.
like, you have to at some point go see,
there.
see the studios
Yeah.
or whatever. Like my cousin she went to was it like they have tours of the actual studios that
Yeah.
they use. I forgot if it was like Universal or wherever the hell it
Universal.
was. And she was like, you see all the studios and the sets and this, and I'm like, I want to see that.
I want to see. I
know?
want to see the stars on the ground. I want to go to Tyler Perry Studios.
Yeah, this things you want. It's almost like baby steps again. It's
Yeah.
like, like for us, like for me, it was like, okay, I want to get to be a background. And you go to CineSpace and you start to see all the sets and you start to see this and you start to see trailers and then you get your own trailer and then you're like, holy shit, I have my own trailer and like, what the fuck?
What's next?
Yeah, like, what's next? And then it's an amazing road.
It
I mean,
is.
it's so much fun. I've enjoyed it. I mean, I haven't done as much as you have, but everything I've done has been an experience, and it's been fun.
You could
and
say both.
yeah, it's been. Mind you, where the hell did I come up with the idea of fucking being an actor? Right? I mean, you've known me my entire life. It kind of came out of left field, kind of.
Really?
Kind of. Because like I fell ass backwards into a Walmart commercial years ago, and that kind of gave me the bug of like, maybe I want to try to do this.
Yeah.
Worst case scenario, I'm not good at it, and then whatever. At least I can say I tried it.
Exactly.
So
A lot
that's
people-
kind of where I've been.
That's what's up.
Then I took some classes, whatever, and after I got my agent, was kind of where I was like, okay, maybe I can do this because
Yeah.
if I'm getting signed by an agency, that means they saw something.
Yeah.
It's just now it's practice. It's like anything else, like a sport.
Yeah.
In
And I've
order
seen your self tape. I think, did you submit for the puppet?
Yes, I did.
Yes, I've seen your self tape.
And I do, obviously I feel like I'm typecasted. We didn't talk too much about that. We can talk about that for 2 minutes.
Okay.
I feel like I'm typecast because obviously I look a certain way, and that's okay. I mean, at the end of the day,
But
we look the way we look. Now, I'm not saying get locked into that, right?
Well, it's a do or die.
I mean, again, I always use the example of like my favorite actor is Gary Oldman. John's gonna make a face right now because he hates him.
You know who Gary Oldman is.
No, I don't.
No, you don't. Really?
don't.
I love it.
I don't get out much.
I love it.
Okay, Gary
Believe it or
Oldman.
not, I don't know a lot of actors or a lot of shows and movies. So when people start naming, I'll be like, no.
Okay,
I don't.
You'll
have you
know
ever
my
watched?
face, but
Yeah, probably. I know people by faces.
You ever watch Air Force One?
No.
Hold on.
he's
hold on.
younger. You gotta
Okay, I got
remember
one.
he's younger.
Denzel's movie with them. End of the World.
Book of Eli.
Yeah, well, he's blind. You never watched Book of Eli?
I probably have.
Oh my God, that's
there's a lot of
wow.
stuff that I've seen and just don't remember the names and titles.
Okay, nonetheless. So he's
he's forgettable.
He's a
but
very,
I mean,
okay. Did you watch the Spider-Man movie recently, right?
Yes.
He was the guy who's a news reporter.
Okay.
No, that's not Gary. I'm lying. That's the guy I did a scene with. That's the guy I did a scene with. That's J.K. Simmons. Never mind. I just take that back. He was in, do you remember the Dark Knight movies with Heath Ledger? He was the cop. He's Batman's friend.
Okay.
Commissioner
Yes.
Commissioner Gordon.
Yes.
Okay, so he's him. So he's an Academy Award-winning actor, blah, blah, blah. He's made a living of basically always playing a bad guy. Right?
Okay.
And he's so good that like you almost kind of forget who he is when he's on screen, which is
Yeah.
to me is an amazing talent.
That's
right?
good.
And he made a career being a bad guy. I'm like, fuck it. If I can have a 2% career of what he had, being a fucking bad guy, I'll be a bad guy. Or the same guy like the Fast and the Furious, the Mexican guy, Noel, I forget his name, Noel, whatever, the guy who's in part of Toretto's group. He always plays the gangbanger Mexican in every film that he's been in. Every time. And then he's made a career out of it. That's okay.
Yes.
That's what it is. I mean, at the end of the day, if you're going to pay me to do it,
that's his
Do it.
I'm fine.
niche.
Yeah, it's his niche.
Yeah, just like, Jake from State Farm is going to always be Jake from State Farm.
Can you
Progressive
imagine
lady.
how pissed off the original guy must be right now? Because remember when the Jake from State Farm started? It was like a white guy on the phone. And he was like, "Who's Jake from State Farm? I bet you she sounds hideous.
Yes,
he's a guy or whatever."
I don't know what happened to that.
I don't know. Yeah, because he did a couple of them, and then they switched over to the guy they have now.
Yeah,
and it's been him forever. Do you remember those?
Did it always have to be? I mean,
it's always been
the name. Like, didn't it have to be Jake again? Did it?
I guess it didn't have to be Jake, but it made sense. It was already catchy. It was like usually State Farm.
And then usually, like
is
if
it
you're
like Flo, the progressive lady?
Yeah,
but it's always been
face.
her though. But it's always been her.
That face.
That's what I'm saying. The original guy from the Jake from State Farm commercial. The original guy was some random white dude. Yeah, he was just sitting there and he's talking to the guy, and then the wife wakes up.
I'm gonna look it up and see what happened.
I wonder. I mean, he must be like, shit. I had a good job there. Fucking shit.
But some people like that. They do commercials and stuff. They love it. But then it's like, no, they can't do anything else because
that's what they're known for.
Yeah, that's what they're known for.
That happens a lot to sitcom people. Like
sure.
I've always tried to keep myself away from sitcoms. Like I don't want. I mean,
I want to do one.
If the money's there, the money's there.
Yeah.
But I mean, if you end up like Steve Urkel, right? He made millions of dollars, and now he can't get a job because every time he goes into an audition, it's Steve Urkel.
Right?
You get what I'm saying? Or when Screech was still alive, he had a hard time getting into rooms too because all you see is Screech.
Right. Well, that's why I'm glad that for Fire, I was a game maker. At 4400, I was a friendly employee, and then I do commercials, and then I go back and forth when I do stuff.
You gotta find your niche.
But honestly, I will be fine if I was to get like one thing and then stick with it for the rest of my life. It's just like I will be fine with that. The real thing is just me, telling stories and changing lives, and that's what I love to do.
Yeah, I agree, John.
Besides the money,
how you feeling? Because we're gonna wrap things up.
Yeah, I'm all right.
You hungry?
Yeah. Oh,
I'm always hungry.
Me too.
Hungry.
I'm a fake vegan.
You're a fake vegan?
Yeah, I only eat vegan food on set.
You only eat vegan food on set.
But I did stop eating beef and pork for about a year and a half now.
Well, Chipotle has a new vegan chorizo.
I haven't tried it yet.
It just came out. I think I just started seeing the commercial.
I just had Chipotle like 3 days ago, and I was thinking about it. I was like,
it was there already? They had it?
I think I saw it, yeah. I was like, nah.
I don't know. I think certain things shouldn't be vegan. And like chorizo is one of those because like it has such a distinctive flavor when it's made out of pork.
Right.
It's like it just cannot be replaced.
Vegan.
It just can't. You no matter how much you try, how much science you want to put into it, it's not going to be the same thing.
It's funny though, like seeing vegans make like all kind of dishes, and I just be like, I don't know about that.
See, I have a personal connection with the vegan, right? And I eat a lot of vegan food. I've eaten vegan food. I mean, it's not bad.
It's expensive.
Oh, hell. It's like 5 times more than what regular food costs. It's insane. But whatever. It doesn't taste bad. You know what it is to me? It's just, it doesn't, okay. The first problem I have with it is if you're going to say it's a vegan burger, then don't call it a burger because now I'm comparing it to a burger and it's not the same thing.
Right.
It's never going to be the same thing.
Right.
Now, is it bad tasting? No, but if you name it something else, then I don't have to compare it. Then I'm just like, okay, this is good.
Right.
But if I'm comparing it to the best hamburger I've ever had, it's not going to come close.
No.
You get what I'm saying? So the naming to me is stupid.
I want to try Slutty Vegan in Atlanta. Those big, nice vegan burgers. Slutty Vegan.
I will say even that Impossible stuff that they're doing now, it's a lot, and a lot of restaurants are doing this Impossible burger stuff. Those don't taste bad because I actually had one, and I was like, wow, this doesn't.
Burger King actually has an Impossible burger.
Is it good?
Burger King has one. It's not bad.
And they have an Dunkin' Donuts have an Impossible like sausage. Yeah.
But I went to a fancy restaurant. And they had it was a vegan restaurant. And it was Impossible, whatever.
Yeah.
And I was like, wow. I mean, there's times I eat it, and I'm like, wow, it tastes good.
Yeah, I can't believe it's not meat burgers.
Yeah, and the thing is, but the bad thing is, again, you're giving yourself a bar that you're not going to reach because I am a meat eater. So it's like, it's not a hamburger.
It's never going to beat meat.
Exactly, it's not. So if you were to name it something, I mean, I don't know what the hell you would name it. But if you named it something else, then maybe I wouldn't compare it so much. But anyways,
burger.
Anything else you want to add before we wind it down here? Anything at all?
just want to thank y'all fellas for, reaching out, and
Absolutely.
So glad to be here, man. Like this is dope. I've had fun, and I want to come back.
Absolutely.
Come back for sure.
Anytime you want.
Absolutely. This is what this is for, man.
It's a
This is
vibe
what
here.
for.
It's a vibe. We kept it real. We kept it trill. Now I like that.
That's what we try to be. John, you got anything?
No, I mean, we're not gonna fight about vibes right now.
Do you want to say goodbye to Arnold for the night or whatever? You want to talk about your poster back there?
Yeah, I appreciate it. Thank you. That was one of the best Christmas presents I ever got in my life.
You're welcome, sir.
Yeah.
That was
I
nice.
knew you would. I knew you would like it.
Oh,
I don't know. I don't know what gave it to me, but something about Arnold. I don't know.
You knew I would like it. Of course you knew.
I was torn in between that one and another one of him doing a bicep curl. That one looked less gross, so I picked that one.
Okay.
Cool.
I can't.
Anything else, guys? Yeah, did you have a good time?
But y'all be blessed.
You have a good time?
I did.
Good. Cool.
Absolutely.
All right, cool. That's going to be our show for tonight. Like, comment, and subscribe. Remember, everything we said is in our opinion, and if you don't agree with it, you can piss off.